Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investigates. Tonight, late at night, we are covering Tren de Aragua, power, law, and the trades beneath the headlines. Recently, we have seen the invasion of Venezuela to capture Maduro. It was Maduro behind this prison gang who came into the United States terrorizing, attacking American civilians. In fact, taking off their fingers, cutting off their fingers for calling the police. These were the claims made by Donald Trump, the President of the United States. We investigate, we go deep dive, and we find out exactly what is going on. So, in the last few hours, this is what was reported by Donald Trump. I'd like to share this with you. We put this story out, and this is what has started this around the world, people looking into this story. So let me share what Donald Trump said, and then we'll investigate and dive deep into Tren de Aragua. Did they do what Trump is saying? Was it worse? Why has Trump gone into Venezuela? Is there more behind this story? Let's investigate. Here we go.
gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang, Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police. They were brutal, but they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete, and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., Maduro.
That is what started the whole conversation. So if you'd like to take a look at that and share or see more of that post, that video we put out, I'll put the link for you in the chat. There it is. There is the link for that video. I'll pin it to the top if you'd like to find out more. There it is. So we've been up late at night researching and trying to find out why we have gone into Venezuela, what it's all about. So here we go. Tren de Aragua, power, law, and the trades beneath the headlines. Why investors are ignoring the headlines and positioning for recovery and defense. Let's break this down for you. So, the capture of Nicolas Maduro and the sudden elevation of the Tren de Aragua TDA criminal syndicate into a national security threat mark a rare convergence of immigration law, geopolitical messaging, and market positioning. While the current administration frames TDA as a foreign invasion force to justify invoking the 1798 Alien Enemies Act, investors are increasingly looking past political rhetoric towards second-order effects. The recovery of distressed Venezuelan assets, renewed optionality in US United equities, and a broader rotation into defensive cash and generation assets. This is all taken from our newsletter, by the way, which you can read more on in the morning. And there is that link again for that short that I showed you. If you want the newsletter, there it is. You can get a free version of it. It's in the chat for you now. And in the morning, you can see more on this story. So, key drivers and analysis. The weaponization of TDA. Tren de Aragua, known as TDA, has evolved from a localized Venezuelan prison gang, founded in 2012 at the Torcaron Penitentiary, into a central pillar of US immigration and security policy. Its leader, Hector Rusenford Guerrero Flores, was indicted in December 2025 on charges linked to drug trafficking and human smuggling, yet is believed to continue directing a diversified criminal network. However, the administration's portrayal of TDA as an organized invasion force sits uneasily alongside available intelligence. Claims that the gang seized control of apartment buildings in Aurora, Colorado, were later shown to stem largely from property mismanagement that created a security vacuum. Local and federal investigations identified roughly 10 confirmed TDA suspects involved in extortion, serious criminal activity, but far short of an organized territorial takeover. More importantly, a declassified April 2025 National Intelligence Council assessment concluded that Maduro regime does not coordinate with or direct TDA, directly undermining claims of state-sponsored irregular warfare used to justify emergency wartime powers. This disconnect between political framing and intelligence findings now represents the core legal and market fault lines. What's it really about? Energy, equities, and the Venezuelan recovery trade. Markets reacted to Maduro's capture with a notable split between commodities and equities. Oil prices barely moved, with Venezuela producing less than 1% of global supply and WTI anchored near $57 per barrel amid persistent oversupply. There was no immediate supply shock. Equities told a different story. US energy stocks surge. Chevron, CVX, rose between 6% and 7%, while Halliburton, HAL, gained roughly 7% as investors priced in optionality rather than current production. The rally reflects expectations that US oil majors could regain operational access to Venezuelan fields and resolve approximately $12 billion in outstanding claims stemming from past nationalisms. This is a multi-year infrastructure and legal recovery thesis, not a near-term oil price story. TDA's documented use of Bitcoin. We want to talk about crypto on this channel as well. What's the real reason behind all of this? TDA's documented use of Bitcoin and stablecoins to launder drug proceeds adds a complicated layer to the administration's simultaneous push to position the US as a global crypto hub. Federal investigations show that organized crime groups increasingly rely on crypto rails to move funds efficiently across borders. For investors, this creates a paradox. While crypto regulation is softening and institutional adoption is accelerating, enforcement risk remains underpriced. The unresolved question is whether blockchain surveillance can scale fast enough to offset the efficiency gains enjoyed by criminal networks under a looser regulatory regime. This is Sensei's watch list, and you can get more from the newsletter in the morning. Here is the newsletter link. It's a free trial. You might like to get this and have a deep dive with further information in the morning. So what Sensei is looking for on this one, rather than scattering themes throughout the analysis, these are the signals that matter most. Geopolitics and credit. Venezuelan government bonds surged roughly 25% following Maduro's capture. Sustained strength would indicate growing confidence in a US-backed restructuring. Energy. WTI crude, $57 support. If oil remains anchored despite geopolitical escalation, it confirms that oversupply and infrastructure decay dominate political headlines. Defensive equities. Coca-Cola, ticker symbol KO. Thank you, Sensei, for including this one. With expected 8% currency neutral EPS growth and a 2.9% dividend yield, Coca-Cola has emerged as a preferred hedge against tariff-driven stagflation, as the effective US tariff rate sits near 10%. Crypto and AI, risk monitoring, not chasing. Crypto regulatory clarity is improving, but enforcement risk remains astemic, and I'm but ready to buy more. AI, capital intensity and valuation risk are rising, pushing capital toward boring, cash-generative names such as McDonald's and Visa. So here is our report tonight on this Tren de Aragua and what it really means. Oh, I apologize. I've lost my camera there for a second. Sorry about that. In fact, I'll try and fix that. This is a live broadcast. I apologize. If I come back to here, I should be able to change it within a second. So let's do that. There we go. I apologize for that breaking of service. So there is our report tonight. We are starting to take a look at the moves behind President Trump and what he stands to gain. There are some, of course, who will say it's to protect our backyard. It's to protect the United States of America. There are some that say it's all about oil. There are some that will say it's about the new world order. And there are some saying it's about technology, crypto, and AI. They all have a part to play. I would like to get your thoughts below in the comments. What do you think is truly going on with this invasion of Venezuela? It doesn't have any support around the world. Its allies are against it. They've all come out and said so. Any day now, Trump looks like he wants to now go into Greenland, which is part of the Kingdom of Denmark. That, of course, is part of Europe and NATO and so on and so forth. And that would be an invasion of a NATO country. It'd be no different than really invading the United Kingdom. Is it next? What happens next? Is he right to do so? Should we be concerned? These are all questions that we like to look at as investors and those that cover the stories of the day. We're not here to judge. I am completely impartial. I'm from the United Kingdom. I'm a green card holder. I have no opinion. I'm simply reporting to provide you with all the facts that we have. All the information you have just heard in the newsletter are from different sources that we have checked, verified, and compiled in our own language to try to tell the story of what is truly going on and what might be behind it and where we go next and what might be the way that we can invest as investors. What should we do next? So I hope you found this broadcast useful. If you did, you might consider tapping the like button, or you might like to subscribe to this channel. We go like up to 12 hours a day, and this was the first of Martyn Lucas Investigates. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much indeed. If you click above my head, you will find further links. Also, you'll find one over here and one over here when this premieres later. Right now it's live. It makes no sense. But if you're watching it in about half an hour from now, there'll be something here for you. Thank you very much for tuning in this evening. I wish everybody a very peaceful evening. Until tomorrow, when we do it all over again, I'll be back for the opening bell in the morning. Until next time. As always, take care of yourselves and each other.